The Eastside Chapter 4. I began to drive away, staring at a dark, cherry red Chevy Camaro in the rearview mirror of my car. It was brand new. Its shiny paint shone even in the ugly weather. The car had dark tinted windows and stock rims. I watched it as we drove away from the school. This is fucking unbelievable, Janelle exclaimed while looking back behind the seat through the back window. Do you think he saw me? I can't tell. The windows are tinted, I answered. Is he following us? Nah. As we drove in silence, the rough drops of the rain slamming against the glass window were our only entertainment. She sat back in her seat, frustrated by the situation, with her arms crossed. Never answered my question, I said, breaking the silence. She let out a breath. Why do you care anyway? She asked, looking away outside her drenched passenger window. I want to know. I never had someone just not like me for no reason, I said, concerned. What did I do that was so bad? I don't hate you, okay? She said softly. Oh, okay. So you just really dislike me then? She turned her head to look at me and let out another sigh. It's not you, it's. She paused. It's. I asked. You know the Spanish guy that was killed at Club Luxy a few months back? She asked. Yeah. He was my uncle, she said sadly. Wow, I exclaimed sympathetically. We were close, my uncle and I. When I was a little girl, my dad would take me to his house and we would have barbecues every Sunday, and he would take me out to the lake, which was in his backyard, and we would catch fireflies together. At night, he would set up a fire around the yard, and the family would sit around it. He would get so drunk. She paused to giggle. He would get so drunk and would start playing his guitar and make me sing old Spanish songs with him. Every time we all were leaving to go home, he would always give me a big hug and kiss and call me his little hermosa princesa, which means beautiful princess in Spanish. He was my favorite uncle, and some beast killed him. I just got so caught up in the East and West feud. I guess you just kind of became an outlet for my anger. I'm sorry about your uncle, I said, shaking my head. You know I had nothing to do with that, right? She nodded her head. Wow, you must think I'm such a bitch, don't you? You? Never, I uttered sarcastically. We both laughed at my comment as she slowly uncrossed her arms. So, what's up with you and your boyfriend? What do you mean? She asked, recrossing her arms. Well, I started. He left you standing in the rain, didn't he? He didn't leave me anywhere. He was just a little late, she responded, trying to convince herself. Okay. Well, I did overhear you crying a little bit about him when you and Jasmine were in the locker room earlier today, I explained. What? She exclaimed. You were eavesdropping? No, no, I quickly answered. I just overheard. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be in your business like that. She looked at me with an angry stare as we continued to drive in silence. After a few minutes, she relaxed and let out a sigh. It's okay. My boyfriend and I were just fighting last night, and I was just a little upset. About what? I asked. Wow, you beasts are really nosy. First of all, my name is Jay, I snapped back. Okay, okay. Sorry, Jay, she said, smiling. If you must know, I asked him to come to my birthday party, but he can't. He's busy. He's always busy. I sat there in silence, absorbing the information as she started looking down, playing with her hair, thinking about her situation with her boyfriend. When is your birthday? I asked curiously. In 2 months, August 15th. I'm turning 18, she answered. How does he know he'll be busy so far in advance? She let out another sigh. Have you ever heard of Hostile Productions? No? Well, my boyfriend's name is Christian. He's a record producer for local Latin and reggaeton artists and other bands around the area. He said he'll be doing a recording session and preparing to go on tour with one of his groups. He's becoming really successful, and he's only 21. He's on his way to be making a lot of money. Oh, okay. Sorry I asked, I murmured. He's going to be a music mogul and a good provider for me in the future, so I guess I have to understand why he isn't coming. I get it, I said, rolling my eyes. Did not take you for a girl that had a price. What is that supposed to mean? She asked furiously. You mentioned all this stuff about his financial status, his money, but nothing about how he treats you, what makes you feel. Sounds like money makes you come, so go dig away, I said with an attitude. Fuck you! Don't judge me! You don't even know me, she roared. You know what? Just drop me off. I'll walk the rest of the way there. No, no, I said, trying to calm her down. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that or judged you. It's still raining. You can't walk now. I didn't mean to offend you. Whatever, she muttered, staring out of the window, watching all the drops of rain crashing against my old dented car. We drove in silence for a moment, as she pointed toward the left to indicate that I must turn down the narrow wet street to get to her house. The saturated road caused me to concentrate more on my driving, so I could see the road through the bombardment of rain. The concentration was interrupted by a whimpering sound coming from the right of me. I looked over to the back of Janelle's head, trying to cover her face. Are you crying? I asked, looking at her. No, she said quickly, while wiping the tears from her eyes and face. Are you sure? I asked again, because there's tears coming from your eyes. Leave me alone, she muttered, looking down shamefully. What's wrong? I'm sorry about what I said. I didn't mean to make you cry. I'm an asshole sometimes, I know. I just got out of a relationship with someone that left me for somebody because of money. I just. Please, just tell me what's wrong. I'll shut up and just listen, I said, concerned, while wiping the tears off her cheek with the sleeve of my black long sleeve shirt. She looked at me with a grin and used her hand to wipe her other cheek. She said with a light chuckle, Oh my God, what is wrong with me today? I can't believe I'm crying in front of you again. This has turned out to be such a messed up day. She paused to shake her head back and forth. Then she continued, That's funny. Nobody ever listens to me. They're always too busy telling me what I should or shouldn't do. Listen, Jay, I'm not some type of gold digger or money whore. My dad and Christian's dad have been friends for a long time, and they kind of set me up with Christian a couple of years ago. My dad tells me that it would be great for my future. I guess I've been telling myself that for so long that I've started to believe it. I just wanted to please my dad, so I went along with everything. 2 years. Goodness. 2 years with being with this asshole. He's always late and never on time for anything that has to do with me. Always busy. Can't even pick up his phone sometimes. And I think he's cheating on me with these groupie hoes out here. I sometimes want to break up with him, but my dad would be so angry with me. My dad. He's an even bigger ass fuck. He said this venture would bring our two families together and make us rich, I guess. I don't care about all that. But my dad tells me what college I should go to, who I should marry, and even where I'm going to live. Once I would love him to ask me, Janelle, what do you want? No. He has me doing all these after school activities and extra credit stuff. I'm exhausted. I hate it. I hate being a cheerleader. All those girls are sluts and bitches, except Jasmine. I just hate it. I feel trapped. She kept venting out until tears started to stream down her face again as she poured out all of her frustrations and emotions. I just looked at her in shock by her outburst and all the emotions that was letting out all at once. I finally realized why she was always so defensive and crude. She was always trying to hide her vulnerability. She had an enormous amount of built up feelings about her life that she tried to push down with an attitude and a cold demeanor. But it was finally starting to take its toll, and it came out right there in my car. This is so embarrassing, she uttered to herself, wiping her tears again. I can't believe I've cried 3 times today. I'm such a loser. No, you ain't. And don't be embarrassed. I comforted. It's been a really long day for me. You have no idea, she said, looking into the distance. Well, if you did have it your way, what would you be doing? I don't know. Come on. You can tell me. I promise. I'll keep your secret. I won't judge. She pointed to a black mailbox sitting on the right side of the car on the sidewalk. I took it as a sign to pull in front of it and park. I stopped my silver Impala in front of a gated walkway, which separated the sidewalk from a large 2-story gray stone house. The house was guarded by a group of large bushes that sat so high they looked like they were touching the dark blue sky. The bright green bushes and yard was very well kept and evenly trimmed, as red roses spilled out of their tiny branches. I observed the luxurious home as the rain began to slow down. I turned to the light brown eyed girl as she turned to me with a look of disbelief. Why are you being so nice to me after I've been so rude to you? She asked. I don't know. I guess you seem like someone that should be treated nice. You're too mean not to. She smiled at me. Well, what would you do if you had it your way? I asked again. Honestly? Yeah, honestly. I want to be a singer. I know it's a stupid dream, but I love to sing, she explained. Really? Are you any good? I think so. I have a song I recorded in a Christian studio. Can I hear it? No, no. She shook her head bashfully. I never let anyone except Christian hear it. He said he thought it was just okay. Well, let me hear it. I don't know. I usually don't let people see me in that light. Listen, if the song sucks, just say it sucks. You don't have to make stuff up, I said jokingly. It doesn't suck, she yelled, slapping my arm playfully. I'm just kidding. Come on. You can trust me. She looked at me for a moment nervously, then just let out a breath and shrugged her shoulders while reaching inside her purple West Island High School cheerleading bag and pulled out a blank CD. She handed it to me, and I took it out of the clear plastic case and put it into my CD player. She turned away from me nervously. The song started with an R&B rhythm with Latin drums and horns. I nodded my head to the catchy rhythm of the beat. Suddenly, a beautiful voice appeared on top of the cool instrumental. I looked at her, surprised by her great talent. Her singing voice sounded like a mix between Sade and Mariah Carey, or some other professional singer. I listened even closer to the lyrics of the song, which really caught my attention. The lyrics impressed me more because of its raw vulnerability. The lyrics went a little like this: raindrops on my window, raindrops as the wind blows. They said a storm was coming, but that's something I've been known. The thunder pounding is my heartbeat. Lightning strikes when my heart bleeds. In my eyes, I see the sunrise, but the rain still falling down my cheek. I'm trapped. Oh, I'm trapped. Oh, set me free so I can breathe. I'm trapped. Oh, I'm trapped. Oh, set me free so I can breathe. Wow, is that really you? She nodded her head bashfully. This sounds incredible, I praised. You really think so? You don't have to be nice, she said, looking down at her shoes. Hell yeah, I'm serious. Did you write that too? She looked up with a half grin and nodded her head again. You really are talented, Janelle. You should pursue this music stuff. She shook her head no and ejected the CD from the car player and placed it back into her bag. What? Why'd you do that? I was still listening, I said quickly. 'Cause, she snapped at me, it's just a stupid dream that will never come true. So what's the point? Is that you or your father talking? I asked, annoyed. She looked up at me quickly, with sadness in her almond-shaped eyes, on the brink of tearing up again, but she quickly adjusted her emotions. Listen, I don't want to talk about it. My dad said he knows what's best, so I'm just going to do what I have to do. What about you? What are you doing that's so special? Do you have any dreams? Or do you always want to be a lowlife? Hey, forget you! I'm not a lowlife, I snapped back angrily. You don't even know me either, okay, princess? I'm sorry I didn't grow up in a castle or with money being thrown at me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that, she stuttered. I really want to know about your dreams too. I want to help race across the world to raise money for the cure for women with cancer. My mother died from it, and I want to make sure that no other 16-year-old kid ever feels the way I felt, I said, looking outside my newly dried windshield. I'm so sorry, Jay. It's fine. I just miss her sometimes. She was the only consistent thing in my life until she passed. I got a picture of her, I said, as I pulled out the wrinkled up yearbook photo from my wallet and handed it to her and pointed to the woman wearing the dress and big smile. She's gorgeous. I guess you got your looks from your dad, she said jokingly. Ha ha, I exclaimed sarcastically. I guess you're as funny as you look. You punk, she said, laughing, playfully punching my arm. You two were really close, huh? Yes, I said, sadly gripping the photo from her hand and placing it back in my wallet. I didn't mean to call you a lowlife. I can be such a bitch sometimes, and I'm working on it. I guess I get so angry that I tend to take it out on other people, she apologized. It's okay, I said, grinning at her as she grinned back. Let me walk you to your door. It's getting late. Oh, right, she said, forgetting that she was home already. She gazed outside the window, noticing the rain had stopped completely. No offense, but I don't think that would be the best idea. I understand. She stared at me with an awkward look on her face, studying my facial features and expressions. She grabbed her bag and removed herself from the car while closing the door behind her. She walked over to the driver's side window and knocked on it for me to lower. I lowered my window with the electronic button and looked up at her, curious by her actions. Listen, Jay, I just want to say thank you, she said, playing with her hair. For what? I asked. For being so nice, for listening, for the ride, just for everything. Oh, it's no problem. I was really wrong about beasts. You guys aren't really so bad. I think maybe this whole East and West thing is being blown out of proportion. Maybe, I said with a smile. Good night, Janelle. Good night, Jay. I put up my window and started to drive away from the large property. I looked in my rearview mirror to see Janelle watching my old vehicle drive away as I passed the cherry red Chevy from the school. By the time I reached my side of town, the sun was starting to come down from the sky while the moon was beginning to rise. I received a cell phone call from Teddy when I almost reached my apartment. He said he saw me drive by and told me to meet him and Danny in front of the liquor store. I turned my car around to meet my friends. Look who it is! Teddy exclaimed as I got out of my car and walked toward them. It's the half beast, half poppy! I put my middle finger toward him with a serious face to indicate that I wasn't amused by his joke. Teddy and Danny were standing in front of Liquor, the liquor store most of the young guys loitered in front of. It stood between a gas station and a fast food restaurant. We liked going there because it was within walking distance from my place. The bottles were cheaper, and it sold more items than liquor, like food, cigar, juice, and condoms. It was the only Indian-owned place in the whole neighborhood and was open until 1:30 a.m. Teddy stood in front of the glass window of the store, sharing a small bottle of dark liquor with Danny, which he bought with his fake ID. They both were wearing jackets and boots. Man, it feels like I haven't seen you in a while, Danny said while taking a sip from the little bottle. You didn't know? Jahvon's changing his name to Juan Jose, Teddy said, laughing to himself. I rolled my eyes at him while turning down the brown bottle that Danny was offering. I've been trying to get this bullshit community service done and over with, I said, yawning. Nice, replied Danny. How many hours did y'all finish so far? I asked. They looked at each other and laughed. Like an hour? Teddy exclaimed as I laughed, shaking my head. Oh, Teddy, you still have those free tickets to the Reggae Dancehall Fest? Asked Danny. Does the toilet flush? Teddy asked back. Cool. What time we going? Let's meet at Jay's around 9 p.m., Teddy answered. Damn, I almost forgot. What day? I asked. Friday after next, you dipshit, Teddy quickly responded. Hey, Teddy, I exclaimed. Yes? Shut your fat ass up. Ouch, man. I'm sensitive, bro, Teddy said, pretending to hold on to his broken heart against his chest. Oh, who's that? Danny asked, the both of us. I turned around to see someone riding a black and white motorcycle toward us. The rider was wearing a black and white motorcycle helmet and matching gloves and a black undershirt, showing off his arms and tattoos, which started at his shoulders and went all the way down to his wrists. Wearing blue jeans and construction Timberland boots. The rider pulled directly in front of us and parked his vehicle. Three of us stared at the mystery rider, trying to recognize the identity. My eyes focused on his tattoos, which looked familiar, especially the drawing of a wild bull on the left shoulder. I realized where I had seen all those tattoos before and said, Oh, it's my cousin Rich. Juice? Teddy asked. Yeah, I replied. Rich pulled off his helmet while sitting on the brand new bike and put it on the back seat. Hey, fellas, he said smoothly while shaking all of our hands. Surprised you're not at Pop's, slaving in that hot ass stove he calls a shop. I'm off today, cuz, I said, exploring the black and white Suzuki GS 500. Working in Pop's garage, I got to fix bikes as well as cars, so I recognized the model. This thing is sweet, Danny said, admiring it. You like it? Rich asked. Yeah, Danny replied. Come on, check it out, Rich said, while stepping down off the bike. I gotta talk to you, Jay, for a second. Rich put his arm around my shoulder and guided me from my group of friends while Danny and Teddy analyzed the black and white contraption. He turned around quickly and exclaimed in a serious voice, Hey! Just don't ride my shit. They replied by nodding their heads. What's up, man? I asked after we were a good distance away from our friends. Listen, cuz. Listen, cuz. I just opened up a new automobile mechanic shop called Wreck and Check. I got a few guys fixing for me, but I know you got skills with this stuff. So I want you to come work for me and be my lead mechanic, Rich explained. What? Come on, Juice. You know Pops is the best shop around here. We grew up watching people go in and out of Pop's shop. We can't go against him. Remember when he fixed our bikes when we were like 10? Man, fuck Pops, he said, rolling his eyes. I can't do that to him, man. He needs me, I explained. Only thing Pops need is Medicare and a cane. He's old news, Jay. We're the future. I can help you make some real money and get your status up around here instead of being some broke pretty boy. Feel me? I don't know, cousin. Okay, okay. Listen, you don't have to answer right now. Just think about it. Here, take this, Rich said while handing me a brown envelope he had in his back jean pocket. What's this? I asked, opening up the envelope. Let's just call it an incentive, he replied, grinning at me while I was looking at a group of $20 bills lying next to each other inside the envelope. What is this for? I questioned, confused. It's $400, just to show you I'm serious. And if you work for me, you can make a lot more. Just think about it, he said, winking his left eye while slapping me on my right shoulder. I just stood there, examining his short, muscular frame, looking at him curiously, wondering about his true intentions. He finished up by saying, So, I heard you was in the west side most of the week, he inquired. Yeah, unfortunately, I replied. Yo, let me know if anybody gives you any trouble out there. I got a few things that'll take care of them for you. Feel me? He said, wearing a serious face, lowering his thick eyebrows. Nah, I'm good. I appreciate it though, man, I said, chuckling at his intensity. Alright, man. I'm just saying. They fuck with you, they fuck with me. I got your back, cuz we family. I love you, cuz, he continued. Thanks, Juice. I love you too, bro. Cool, he said, putting his arm on my back while guiding me back to our original location in front of the liquor store. He climbed back onto his bike and shook all of our hands before putting on his helmet. All right, fellas, be good. All right, Juice, we all said together. Think about it, Jay, Rich said again while restarting the motorcycle and riding away. What's that? Teddy asked, referring to the envelope in my right hand. $400, I answered. $400? He questioned, not believing me. Remember that $20 you owed me? Hell nah. I don't owe you shit, I replied, laughing, handing him and Danny each a $20 bill. But here's one for both of y'all. Thanks, Jay, Teddy exclaimed. Dog, what does your cousin do for a living? Every time I see him, he is always in a new car or with a new female, Danny asked. Nothing good, I bet, Teddy stated. I'm hungry, guys. Jay, do you have some food to cook at your place? I think so. Let's find out, I said, grabbing my car keys from my sweatpants while hearing a small bell noise. I reached into my other pocket and grabbed my cell phone. Hold up, Danny yelled as they finished the little bit of brown liquor left in the liquor bottle. Woo! I'm fucked up, Teddy exclaimed, looking at me strangely as my attentions were completely involved in my small cell phone. What's wrong with you? Shantae just texted me, I explained with a confused face. What? What did she say? Danny asked. She said she loves me and wants me back, I answered. So? Teddy questioned. I thought she said that before already. Yeah, she did. But she also just told me that she and her sisters are going to the reggae dancehall fest. Teddy laughed hysterically and said, Ha! Sucks for you.